Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to Book Bar and welcome to a Trope Tuesday video where I will be recommending you some tropes or books for a trope. Today I'm going to do one of my favorites, which is Grumpy Sunshine. So this will have both heroes that are grumpy and heroines that are grumpy. So, and I have more that I could do, but for now I'm just doing these 10 and then 4 that are on my TBR. So we are going to start off with one, which actually the series has multiple, but I'm going to go with my favorite, which is Reckless by Elsie Silver. She's actually I don't want to say she's really grumpy, but he is definitely like sunshine boy, and she is a little more like prickly and closed off, and yeah, it's just one of my favorites. It's Winter and Theo, and Winter is Summer from book one's older sister, and Winter has been going through it lately. Her husband is an awful human, and her mom sucks, and her dad has always been like closer to her sister because her sister had no one else, and so she's just kind of going through it and not loving life. So yeah, one night she's trying to like mend her relationship with her sister, and so she goes to a party at the Eaton house and she meets Theo there, and they might have a night together that then results in her possibly getting pregnant. And it's just so fantastic. I loved it. I love it. I love it. I love a good prickly heroine, and, you know, just a fun, sunshiny golden retriever boy. So that is the first book on my list. Then I have Under the Stars by Laura Pavlov. This is a grumpy hero, sunshine heroine, and he calls her Tink. She calls him Boss Man. It is Georgie and Maddox, and it is a boss employee. This is book 2 in the series. Could totally be read as a standalone. Like, of all of them, I feel like their relationship you see the least of in like the future book, or in the past books, the past book. So it was fantastic. I loved Maddox and the way he was, and like when I can't remember the little girl's name, called him her boss man. It was just so cute, and like it was just I loved it. Fantastic. Of course, all of these are fantastic. They're all like 4 or 5 stars. So yeah. Next up, I have Tame the Heart by Ava Hunter. This is Charlie and Ruby, and Ruby is literally called Sunflower. She's just sunshiny, happy person, and Charlie is pretty grumpy because of some stuff that happened in the past. And Ruby has a chronic illness. She has SVT, so she's just wanting to live her life. She's been very like sheltered and not done a lot in her life because of her SVT, and so she's finally like, you know what, I just want to live. I just want to go out and live. And she goes to Charlie's ranch, and you know, things are gonna happen. So yeah, it was super cute. I really enjoyed it. Next up, we have Outdrawn by Deanna Gray. I read this for reading November new releases. I'll have the vlog up there. But this is a sapphic romance where one of the heroines is a grump and the other one is sunshine. Like, so Sage is the more grumpy heroine, and she's very into like wearing black and just moody, broody type of character. She has a lot of like family trauma. And then we have Noah, who is pink and bright and fun and just very like in your face, sunshiny, happy. And they end up having to work together, and they're kind of also competing against each other while working together, and it was just a great time. I really enjoyed it. Then we have Grim and Barrett by Juliette Cross. This is Henry and Clara. This is the 6th and final book in the Stay a Spell series. Clara and Henry's story had been like teased for a long time, and Henry, it is a virgin hero. Henry is a Grimm, and we know a little bit about him, but not a lot. Grimms are very closed off, and we learned that in the 4th book, but yeah, the 4th book. But we know a little bit about Henry, but he is very, like, we don't know a ton. We do know that he, like, showed some of his powers, but Clara knows her future. She knows that her and Henry are meant to be, and it was just adorable. Like, it was fantastic. I loved this. Like, It's probably my second favorite in the whole series. Like, it's just, they're so cute. I love them. I love them. Love them. Next up, we have Love Under Starlight by N.M. Patel. This is another grumpy heroine, sunshine hero. This is Mira and Luke. And Luke and Mira met in the first book. I didn't read it, but I'm pretty sure they met in the first book when Luke went with the hero of the first book to visit the heroine's hometown. And Luke ends up deciding he wants to do his, like, dissertation, doctorate, whatever, on the stepwell that is in Mira's hometown. And he's going to stay with Mira. He's going to board with her at her house for the summer. And they end up striking up a friendship. Mira has had a lot of trauma in her life because of some stuff that had happened to her previously. There's mention of suicide by a family member. And it was so good. I really enjoyed it. I also read that for the November new release vlog. So that'll be up there. Then we have another of my favorite books from last year, and that is Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. This is another one where it's more of like a prickly heroine who just doesn't want to let anyone in, and the hero is just like so gone for her that he is sunshiny, but he also has like some trauma in his past. He suffers from severe PTSD on the ice because in the prologue, he is playing a game and he gets pushed into the boards really hard and has trauma from that. And I just love this book so much. Sadie and Reese are my babies forever. I love them. Also read this for the November to release vlog. I read some bangers in November. Then we have Iced Out by CE Ricci. This is a male-male romance, also hockey, between Quentin and Oakley. And Quentin is the more grumpy hero. And Oakley he's like the prince of hockey, and they hate each other in the prologue, and then they end up going to the same college. And some stuff happens, and they one night experiment with each other, and then the next day they win a game, and they decide they have to do it before every game now. So they hook up, and friends with benefits or enemies with benefits is going to turn into a real relationship. So yeah, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Two more, both hockey. I don't know what it is about hockey romances and Grumpy Sunshine. It's there. So next up, we have On Thin Ice by L.A. Cotton. This is Harper and Mason. And Mason, is very grumpy from the first book, the first full-length book, because there are a couple novellas. And Harper is the heroine from the first book's like best friend, and Mason just thinks that she's a puck bunny and just wants to hook up with all the guys, but she actually really does like hockey because her dad is a hockey player, or was a former hockey player, and she just wanted to be accepted by him. And then Harper ends up working with Mason's autistic brother, and things go from there, and it was beautiful. I had a great time with it. Then the last one that I recommend is Vital Blindside by Cowan. This is Adam and Scarlett. This is another sunshiny hero, grumpy heroine. And Scarlett she was a female hockey player, and something happened, and so now she can no longer do it. So she goes to Adam's training center and is kind of training there just to I don't remember if she's just training there or if she ends up working there. But Adam is a single father. And this is the third book technically in the Swift Hat Trick trilogy, but it could be read as a standalone because it takes place years after the first two. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. So now we have my TBR. First one on my TBR, I have already started reading this, but this is Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. This is Knox and Memphis, and Knox isn't too happy that Memphis is going to be living with him. And she just is trying to escape her life in New York. And yeah, things are going to happen. It was beautiful. It's been beautiful so far. I'm having a great time with it. But, technically still on my TBR because I have not finished it. Then we have a photo finish by Elsie Silver. This is from her first series. I believe this is Violet's story. And Violet is in Eton. She is Cade and Beau and Rhett's little sister. And so you know that she is married in those books because you hear about it and you hear about her husband. And I believe he is a former, he was in the military. He was in the military, and I believe he's an amputee. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Then I have A Nordic King by Karina Halle. I believe this is nanny romance, set in like Norway, and I'm excited for it. I've enjoyed Karina Halle's like contemporaries, and so I want to read this one. And the last one is another hockey romance, and that's Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. I've heard really good things about this and the second book in the series, and I believe that she ends up being like his assistant, and they're kind of enemies to lovers, but she works for him. I don't know. It sounds fantastic. I'm excited to read it. So yeah. What are some of your favorite Grumpy Sunshine romances? Let me know down in the comments. I'm always looking for more. I love them. Love a good Grumpy Sunshine. And if you made it to the end of this video, leave me a hockey emoji, like a hockey puck, a net, a stick, whatever, because skate, whatever they have, because most of this list was hockey romances. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.